Rafael Nadal and Naomi Osaka will be making their highly anticipated returns to the Pro Tours in 2024, and they'll actually be in action much sooner than you all might think. Nadal and Osaka will open their 2024 campaigns at the Brisbane International lead-up event in Australia. The Brisbane International as a tournament will be making its return to the schedule for the first time since 2020. 22-time major champion Rafa Nadal made his announcement on Friday in a video to social media where he gave fans an inside look at his comeback preparations.
He definitely pulled up right there. No doubt whatsoever.
Creo que no me merezco terminar así. Es decir, creo que me he esforzado lo suficiente durante toda mi carrera deportiva como para que mi final no sea hoy aquí en una rueda de prensa, ¿no? Que mi final sea de otra manera y voy a esforzarme para que mi final sea de otra manera. Hola a todos. Después de un año fuera de la competición, ha llegado el momento de volver. Será en Brisbane y será la primera semana de enero. Nos vemos allí. After 1 year outside of the tour, I think it's the right moment to be back. I have been working hard and feeling much better the last couple of weeks. So I feel ready to announce that I will be back in Brisbane the first week of the season.
It's honestly really great to have Rafa back out there on tour. Not only his fans, but the entire tennis community honestly missed him dearly. Nadal has not competed since the 2023 Australian Open, where he suffered a hip flexor injury during his second round match against Mackie McDonald. In a press conference in May earlier this year, Nadal said that his goal was to give himself an opportunity to enjoy his 2024 season, as it will, quote, probably be his last. Rafa said he's going to try to enjoy and say goodbye to all the important tournaments in his career in his presumably final season. In all honesty, it does look like 2024 will be Rafa's last season on tour, with all the physical issues that he's gone through in the past few years. He even said in that press conference back in May that returning post-pandemic was difficult for him as his body could not withhold the daily grind as it once could. In the past 3 years, Nadal has been plagued with various injury issues, including the Mueller-Weiss syndrome flare-up, which impacted his foot, and then a rib stress fracture and an abdominal strain. Rafa prematurely ended his 2023 season in that, once again, May press conference, but he did have hopes of returning for Davis Cup in November, but he wasn't quite ready to compete for that tournament. While he loves tennis, I'm sure Nadal does not want to live a life of pain during his retirement years. There is a chance that the time off did Nadal very well, and perhaps he will be able to compete for a few more seasons on the ATP Tour, but I truthfully think that this will be his farewell season. I don't know when his last tournament would be if this is the case. Perhaps he would try to go out and play the full calendar and end it at the US Open or even the ATP Finals if he managed to qualify for that year-end championships, or maybe the Paris 2024 Olympics, especially if he goes all the way and wins gold there. That could be a beautiful swan song tournament for him. Nadal wants to finish his career on his own terms, and I think this is the best possible way to do it. Just as he mentioned, just giving himself the best opportunity to really go all out for a good last year on tour. It reminds me of when Serena Williams was considering retirement after that 2021 Wimbledon injury where she tore her hamstring, but she came back in the second half of 2022 injury-free to give a proper farewell to the fans. Now, I hope Nadal's body will be able to hold up because unlike Serena, he's trying to play, it seems like, a full season on tour, and then also he has to deal with the best of 5 format in the Grand Slams. I'm not entirely sure that we'll see Rafa compete at this year's or next year's Australian Open because of this. I think Brisbane will be more of a test to see where he's at physically, and then he'll go from there. And like I said, I just would not be surprised if he didn't even play the year's first major. Regardless, it's just great to see a living legend in Nadal back out there competing, and I wish him all the best on his latest comeback. Another former Australian Open champion, Naomi Osaka, is also set to return at the Brisbane International, which will be her first tournament since the 2022 Tokyo Japan Open. Osaka was on maternity leave in 2023, giving birth to her daughter Shai in July. A lot of people have questioned whether Osaka is physically fit or whether she has the drive to return atop the women's rankings. She said in multiple interviews that she has a strong itch to be back out there on court competing, especially when she watched some of the action at the 2023 US Open. But yesterday, Osaka decided to let her training video do most of the talking, and boy did it cause quite a conversation. Take a look. Just watching this video, I was first amazed at how fit Naomi looked in the athletic movement, the explosive athletic movement we were accustomed to seeing from her. It was on full display in that 20-second clip, but also her ball striking abilities shone throughout. Very few women can even come close to matching Osaka's ball striking from the ground, and she just looks about as sharp as ever on that front. Now, as good as Naomi looks right here, in practice, we all know a match play situation is totally different, as nerves and the overall physical demand of competing can take a tremendous toll. Not to mention that this Brisbane tournament is a 500 level event rather than a 250 on the ATP side. Looking at the people joining Nadal in that men's tournament, we have Andy Murray, Grigor Dimitrov, along with Holger Rune and Ben Shelton. That's not really too bad, but joining Osaka in the 48 player field so far are reigning Australian Open champion Aryna Sabalenka and reigning runner-up Elena Rybakina. I expect more big heavy hitters to join the field as well. I think maybe she should have signed up for the ASB Classic in Auckland. Now, I know the conditions in Auckland aren't the most ideal for Aussie Open prep, but that lower level tournament would have been a better opportunity for Osaka to find her footing and regain her form. Because your lone lead-up tournament being a high-stakes 500 after all that time off, I don't know. Speaking of Auckland, that field is headlined by Coco Gauff along with a few other mothers and Elina Svitolina and Caroline Wozniacki. Angelique Kerber will also return from maternity leave at this year's Australian Open, and then Osaka's infamous foe Amanda Anisimova will return after an extended hiatus. Win or lose, I think that we will be pleasantly surprised by Osaka's form. I think she was honestly very burnt out from the whirlwind 4 years that she experienced since becoming a Grand Slam champion and multi-million-dollar superstar. I do plan on doing a longer form video about Osaka's 2024 comeback and her past few tumultuous seasons on tour, so stay tuned for that. That's all I have for this video, and let me know in the comments if you think 2024 will indeed be Rafa's final season on tour. Also, how do you foresee Naomi performing in Australia? Make sure you subscribe and click the notification bell so you're notified whenever I do post that longer form Osaka comeback video. Thanks for watching. I'm Christian Basnight, and I'll see y'all next time here on Grand Slam Tennis News Today.